Hey guys, I wanted to hop on here. I'm going to try to make this quick, but I want to talk about mind control, SRA, the Satanic Ritual Abuse, MK Ultra, which by the way, MK Ultra is a real thing. You can look it up. The files were declassified, somewhat fully declassified. And yeah, are they still doing it? Yeah, it's just done differently. They don't actually need a building or an institution to do this because they have figured out through all of their trials and their experiments that as long as they can access the child through their trauma, through their fragmentation, or actually access the adult from their childhood trauma and disassociation fragmentation, then they are able to get that person to do whatever it is that they need them to do. And this is where we have honeypots. Now, I'm going to explain something as brief as I possibly can. You might have been, some people might have been talking about it, or maybe you've been hearing about honeypots. What are honeypots? Honeypots typically, well, now they're using men because homosexuality is so much more widespread and understandable. More people are into it openly. That what they do is they get, I'll use a female as an example, even myself, right? They get us because of our fragmentation and disassociation. They're able to trigger us and switch us into an alternate personality where we've been programmed to receive information. We gather that information in the spirit, in our mind, in that part of our soul. The alternate personality is receiving that information while we are with the person that we have attracted. So it could be a sexual encounter. It could just be dinner or lunch, some sort of like flirtatious. You can think of it honeypot, right? It's something that is you're connecting with these people to gather information from them and about them. And then what happens is that part of the soul, that alternate personality, is holding that information in the spirit and the soul, and then boom, it clicks off. You leave the communication with the person, and you might not even remember that you had even met up with that person. I have many stories of these situations, blackouts and things like that, where you thought, oh, well, you just blacked out, you drank too much, whatever it might be. But really what it was an alternate personality that came forward and did things during that time. Maybe, so for some of you like me, I thought, oh, I just drank too much and I blacked out that night or whatever, right? I woke up in the morning thinking, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Well, the people that you were with could have been your handlers or programmers, and I don't want to instill fear, but typically what happens is something switches, and those people that you're with that are your handlers or your programmers, they then take you to another location. You're at another location doing something, gathering information, whatever it is, maybe part of a ritual too. And you think that you drank too much and blacked out when really, no, you were just part of something that consciously you would have never been a part of. So that's just an example. I guess I didn't really explain honeypot, but basically a honeypot, like for me, like when I look back at my life, I had been programmed to be that, to be around people that in reality, what was I doing being around all these people? I was around celebrities, you guys. I worked in the entertainment industry. I was in Hollywood. I was around all these celebrities. I can't give you very many conscious memories. Things are starting to flood back, which I will be writing about and sharing about depending on, I know one podcast I would probably share my testimony on, but that's pretty much it. But these things were happening that I consciously was not aware of. I worked in the sports industry, you guys. I remember going to a concert. It was a Jay-Z, Kanye concert in Vegas, like high up. I was with a guy I was dating. I could give you maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of a memory of that trip. Like, where was everything else? And I remember we sat with, what was it? We sat with a bunch of other, like, celebrities. What's her name? Christy, her husband's also I can't remember, but like, see, I can't even remember. But like all of these situations, I was there to gather information or be a part of a ritual because of maybe who I was. I don't know. But here's the thing, like so many of us have been used. There's a story of a guy out of Washington who is getting away with tons of child pornography charges and I guess has a history of this, right? Well, he's getting away with it, and guess who his wife is? A teacher. So we don't realize, and I don't say this to cause fear in any of you that are teachers, anybody that has access to kids, teacher, school bus drivers, what else? Sunday school teachers, librarians, children's doctors and nurses, ER facilities, especially CPS and all of that. Anybody that has access to children, you need to get help. I'm sorry, but you need to get help because you could have parts in you, you could have disassociation in you that is allowing abuse to happen, or maybe even that you're partaking in it. And I'm not saying because you consciously don't know that, like, you're still, on the hook, but you kind of are, because when you're standing before the throne of God, you're still going to have to answer to that. And you're going to be like, you're going to remember at that time, but you're going to be like, why didn't I stop it? And then you're going to know, oh, I didn't stop it because I didn't face the reality that I had missing time, that I had missing memory during these events while I was teaching. I've had, of course, a bee comes at me. In the name of Jesus, you're bound. Go figure. Okay. Oh, what is with my hat? I was trying to do that for the hair, but I don't want to look too tomboyish or whatever. Anyways, where was I? Yes. So yeah, I actually had a teacher, somebody who I met, in Europe, who was a teacher, and she actually said that she had missing memory and that she remembers, there are different times that she remembers actually leading the children out of her classroom, and then blanking out. Like all these different things. And we won't know this until we start doing deliverance. Now, some people say like, oh, I'm going to do shadow work. Some people say, which is like a new age thing, but inner healing, that's another. Inner healing isn't new age, but inner healing only basically scratches at the wound. Now, I don't know if inner healing has changed since last time I saw it, but I know other ministries, I'm not going to say the name of them, they just kind of like scratch at the wound, and it's kind of like more so patting on it. I'm not really sure why those other places aren't really bringing complete deliverance. It could be because they also cover their ministry they claim to be covering. So if they remove that, then maybe what it is that they're doing would actually work. I don't know. But I just know with soul deliverance, when you can go to those parts of you and you can start talking to them and you can find out what happened. And yeah, you could go to, the classroom scenario and be like, okay, where did that time go? Lord, show me. Holy Spirit, show me. Because everything is in God, right? So when we connect with God, we'll be able to tap into all of the missing memories, all the missing time. We'll even be able to talk to those people that we harmed or that we were ignoring, as far as like allowing things to happen. So there's so much more that we can do in the spirit when we are connected to God, because He is everywhere and there's nothing that isn't a part of Him. And that says it in John 1. So, can anybody be used? Everybody is being used. I hate to say that, but everybody is being used sorry, the wind is like blowing my hair and sticking to my face, and you can't see it, but I can feel it. And it's probably sand too. But anyways, I think that's why I had this backwards. Well, I'll give you a better view of, I don't know. the tower, the ocean. I don't know if you can see that right now, but I'm just fixing my hat. Okay, there we go. Okay, so is there something that we can do to stop or heal? Yeah, absolutely. Soul deliverance. And come check out my ministry. I have plenty of resources on YouTube that are free. A lot of healing comes from the understanding. Comes from understanding the whole fragmentation, understanding what's really going on in this world, understanding what God said, who we are. A lot of it comes from understanding. Adam and Eve took of the knowledge of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So they received the knowledge, but they didn't receive the understanding. And the understanding only comes from the true source, which is God, our creator, the one who wrote everything, right? That's a whole nother topic as far as all the information that they gathered at the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Anyways, I just wanted to explain that, and I think it made me realize that I think I need to do like a breakdown of the honeypots, because I think if we can start to understand and see that we can all be used. Gangstalking is another example. You think that somebody, like all these people are set to gangstalk. Well, they are gangstalking you. You have people following you everywhere. Well, yeah, they are following you. I'm not saying it isn't happening. It is happening, but a lot of those people have no idea that they're following you. They just feel led to turn down a particular street. They feel led to just stare off into the distance, and they're staring at you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, they don't know why they're doing it. If you were to ask them, they probably don't know. Now, are there cases where there's gangstalkers that are part of like the Freemasons and that's their job? Yeah, they're kind of like private investigators. Yeah, there are people like that, but there's a lot of people that don't know that they turned down a certain street, or they're sitting there staring at you. They're not even thinking about anything, and they're just staring, right? Well, a lot of that comes from the fragmentation, and the matrix is able to link into them and use their eyes in that moment, use their ears in that moment. And all I know, I don't want to be used. I do not want to be used. Heck no. Especially if it had anything to do with children being hurt or abused or trafficked. Heck no. So if you don't want that either, come check out the Ministry of Advocates of Heaven. If you don't want to hop on a webinar, I have webinars all week long. I have them all different times of the day. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you should be able to join one. And if for whatever reason you can't, send me an email and we'll make it happen. Okay. And I do want to start maybe doing some on YouTube. I might do like a private subscription or something so that I won't get dinged for what I say in it. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with y'all. God bless you. I love you. I love you so much. And I know that my Father in heaven, the Father of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, he loves you so much more. God bless y'all. Bye.